Alright, it's Mark, and alright, so we're gonna start our show. Get rid of the welcome screen here. Okay, looks like we're working. Alright, cool. Welcome to the show. Tonight we're actually playing some music that is gonna be brand new for our show opening music because Monster Cat is a company that releases songs, and here they are. But I'm still trying to understand how this site works. You pay $15 a month, and you can download from different albums. They've got a whole catalog of just like 800 songs, I think. Let's see here. They've got like 617 albums. Is that right? Wow. But I guess not all of them have a lot of tracks. It seems like the connection is messed up too. Alright, well hopefully you guys can hear me. Alright. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I'm going to mess with that later. But hopefully the songs will be a little bit different every week, so you guys don't get bored with that. And so what's going on? So tonight we have our monthly challenge entries to look at, but I think there's only been one entry. I think Jason was the only one to enter this month. Let me refresh the page in case somebody added anything. So, oh, thanks, Ron. So Ron is posting the reminders. Yeah, you know, Beard is asking some questions about virtual reality and stuff. I think Janet was asking if we could talk about that as well. But first, we're going to start out talking about this, which is our monthly challenges. And so every month, if you guys don't already know this, which you probably do anyway, but every 5 weeks we have a challenge. And Ken was the previous challenge winner for the Dream Challenge. And dreams was actually, that was the topic. And yeah, you can all vote for Jason if you want to before you've even seen it, right? But so Ken won, and he picked the challenge topic, which was spin for this month, and for 5 weeks. And so so let's see here. I'm gonna refresh one more time just in case. So I haven't watched this. Now Jason, looks like Jason put a lot of time into this. I can tell already just by the single image on here. And he says here, here's my entry. Don't blink. It's death-defyingly short. All right. So I won't blink. I'm going to expand it though. Make sure that the volume's up. And this one is called Spinning Karma. So let's see how it looks. Awesome. Yeah, I think you're right, Ron. Probably that's true. Because there was what, the animator or animation jam or something that he was putting on there. Well, that's okay. There's only so many animators to go around, and maybe they thought that would be a more fun challenge, and that's fine. But I have to say, this is like a really awesome short for 46 seconds. I think that there's so much we could actually talk about here. First off, the intro is really cool. We got this sort of circular transition, and then the puppet's made really well. It's got fabric, and I believe a clay head. And the lighting here is really good. If you notice that the lighting is changing, and there's actually lights inside of here that are blinking, which perhaps is that Is that in Photoshop now, Jason, or did you actually like have a electrical connection to LEDs in there or something? So Dassy, is it Dassy Morrow? Wow, did a really awesome job there on the fabrication. So let's go back here again. So yeah, this is just amazing. The puppet's really well done. The animation, the lighting here. I don't know. What do you guys think? So should Jason be the winner? I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it? So Jason says there were LEDs in a wheel. Wow. My only question is, how does the bunny stay stuck to that? He throws him on there and he gets stuck. That's the only mystery. Wheel of Doom. Yeah, even the way that you zoomed out in that shot is really good. I mean, everything about it's great. I don't know. Should we let him win though? It's really good, but I mean, is it worthy of a win? So Ron says the idea, the sound, editing, the lighting, and animation. I thought everything about it was done extremely well. He says, "Yep, I agree. That was excellent." Velcro bunny. Yeah, I suppose it could be Velcro on there, right? All right, so yeah, Jason, you won, obviously. The only one to enter because of Anthony's stop motion jam there. If that's even the reason, I don't know, but that's really awesome. So thanks for doing that. I mean, that's really inspirational. All right, so you'll have to think of a topic for the next challenge, and also I guess I should go over this as well. So if you guys do decide to enter our challenges, I'll bring up the page here on the side. There are prizes. Let me find it. All right, here it is. So at stopmotionstore.com, you get to win, or you get to choose one of these videos that you have now won. So it can be either how to animate, the update, there's set building, there's also how to make brass tube armatures, there's sculpting puppets, there's smoothing techniques, replacement mouths, how to sculpt hair, and making aluminum wire armatures. And this is actually one of my more intricate videos. Like, you wouldn't think there's a lot involved, but I made it a long time ago, and people always tell me that they like it. So I guess even though it's really, it's like SD quality and everything, but the information is, I guess, helpful still. So all right, so feel free to choose one of those, Jason, unless you've already brought like our master course and have them all. Yeah, so you guys, and Janet as well. I mean, if you ever feel like making one of these for fun and joining the challenges, they are fun to do. So highly recommended. All right. So I guess the next topic is a question that I got recently, and this question was from. Now, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but I think it's Joako. And how you pronounce this, I'm not sure. Maybe Janet, this is another fellow person from maybe Poland, I'm not sure. Somewhere that part of the world. He says, "Hey Mark or Webster, whoever can answer me this. I'm thinking of making some tribute clay puppets, recreating some of Wolverton Studios, which I know you know a lot about. About a year ago, I asked you about the California raisin puppets. Now I'd really like to know if you know how the eyes and pupils from characters as the Noid from Domino's commercials or Bells from Carol of the Bells. I have noticed that the eyes are not round, and I'd like to make my puppets as accurate as possible to the originals. If you have any information on the eyes and pupils of that kind, I would appreciate it very much. Greetings from Argentina. Okay, so he's actually from Argentina, so not even close, Mark. Not even close. Okay. But he's asking about the Noid, and let's see here. I think my page has locked up on me. All right, come on, Facebook. Okay, so he sent these pictures along. So he's got Stretch from the California Raisins, and you can see his eyes here. And also from Carol of the Bells and the Noid. So let me see if I can expand this. Alright. And so, here's the Noid, and this is actually, looks like there's a piece of tape over the top of it or something, so you can't really see it perfectly well. But I've got some historic pictures in one of my folders I could bring up. So yeah, he's right. These eyes are not round. They are actually specially made, and the pupils are very simple as well. There's actually nothing really super mysterious about this, but I'm gonna bring up. Let me see if I can find it in my historic stop motion pictures section, because I have much better pictures of the Noid that we could look at. Let's see. So, Wolvinton and the Noid. Okay. Let me see here. I'm gonna scroll around and see if I can get a really good shot for you guys. Ah. Okay, I think this might be a fairly... No, that's too small. Too small, too small. Thought I had higher quality pictures than that. Alright, so slide this over here. Even this picture is actually kind of low quality. I'm not really happy with that one. Ah, okay, here's my high quality ones. And this might be a good one to show here. Let me bring up this one. Alright, zoom in on these eyeballs. Alright, so how do you guys think these were made? Anybody have any clues? Well, one of the clues I can give you is that they are hard and they are sculpted. So if you guys haven't figured it out already, it's they're made by making a I believe they might have had a press mold, but the eyeballs are sculpey, and they've been either sculpted and press molded, but they're pretty much unique, I believe, for each Noid, so it might not be a press mold. Here's another one, another shot. And you can see that these are round, so you know, I think each one might be kind of unique in the way that they made these Noid eyeballs. So here's one which is, these are more sort of oval shaped. You can see here. Oh, Ron, that's a pretty funny statement, Ron. Yeah. So Ron is saying he hopes they don't bring the Noid back because he'd be in CG. Yeah, that would be very sad, I had to say. Extremely sad. So these eyeballs are made by either you know, Sculpey or Super Sculpey or Primo, or you know, any sort of polymer clay that you can find out there. That's how they're made, and they're baked. And the kind of paint that they used on these eyeballs was, it had lead inside of it. Some of the first eyeballs that they made, I remember someone telling me they had lead, and so it was kind of a toxic thing to use. But there's a few ways you can do this now that's, you know, less toxic. They have a special Krylon paint called Fusion, and it comes in white, so you can try using that, which will spray on your baked polymer, which is basically a plastic material, right? Because when you use sculpting and you bake it, it turns into a plastic through a heat process. So that kind of a paint would work. But certain paints, they're either too white or too, sometimes they lean towards the green sort of hue. And one of the things that you got to keep in mind with the paints that they used was that they didn't use straight white paint. And the reason for that is because when the light hits white paint, it just bleaches out on film. So, or it makes like a hot spot on your character because it reflects light so well. Even the gloves, these gloves, they also added some different colors in there to mute the white down a bit because they don't want it to be so super bright. And so if you look at his teeth and his eyes and his hands, they're all sort of the similar hue, which is a off-white. So my recommendation, if you want to reproduce these faithfully, is to use an enamel paint and get some straight white enamel paint from Testors, and then mix in a little bit of either gray Testors paint or a drop of black, like a really minuscule drop of black, and get that color muted a bit. Now I've actually got a Noid puppet of my own that is an original one, and let me see if I can. Oh, did I close the folder? No, I didn't. And I took some pretty large images of the eyeballs, as you can see here. So here's another clue that these are actually sculpted. You can see a fingerprint in this eyeball right here. And the paint, you can see the paint is not perfectly smooth. It kind of ripples a bit because the clay is not perfectly smooth. And so he was asking also about the pupils. And I think you can see that the pupils are just clay. It's just Van Eyck clay. It's black. And it's round. And they just stuck a little piece on there and flattened it with the tool. And that was it. So when he looks around, they just slide that around on the eyeball itself. So it's really not super complicated to make these. And I don't know if I have any like close-ups of, let me see here. I might have one. Let me see. Of Stretch, because I've got one of those puppets as well. But I don't think I had the eyeballs with that one. I think the eyeballs were missing. Or were they? Can't remember now. Wow. I've got them boxed away somewhere, so I haven't looked at them in a long time. Raisins. But yeah, if you guys are wondering what I'm looking at, these are all of my historic pictures from Will Vinton Studios. And some of the puppets are just amazing, Here's one from Mark Twain. But Carol of the Bells and Stretch were also done using a similar sort of technique of making eyeballs. So do you guys know, are you guys all familiar with Super Sculpey? Just to make sure that you guys know what I'm talking about. And this one here. Oh, here's a really super small image. Too small to actually look at the eyeballs of those of the bells. Let's see here. So a lot of these ones here are just round. I don't believe that they sculpted those eyeballs. They would have just been for that one character with the big nose. Oh, here's one of. Let me see here. Will this actually play? It will. Awesome. Alright, so here's another character that used the same technique for his eyeballs. And this is Rudy, and this is one of my favorite characters. Just each frame of this animation is just amazingly done. I mean, it's so expressive, but it's really jerky, and a lot of people didn't like this and appreciate the expressiveness of Gary Bielke's animation on this. But I always thought it was like the most amazing character ever animated. Let's see if I can play it.
What do you want from me, huh? We need a fresh territory. Well, that's just what I did.
Alright, I'm gonna put the volume up so you can hear it. But here's his eyeballs, and you can see that they're made in a similar fashion as the Noid.
What do you want from me, huh? We need a fresh territory? Well, that's just what I did.
So that's pretty amazing, and you can see that they're very expressive, and they're just a little, there's like a little black piece of clay on there just sliding around. Alright. Do you win the pizza, Ron Cole? Well, maybe. You can call Domino's and ask. Ron also says, I remember the eyes that were done for characters made at Broadcast Arts back in the 80s were done the same way. That's why my guess was right. Yep, definitely. Yeah, you did guess it right. Sculpey and painted white. Yep. So, all right. So hopefully that answers your question. And that question, let me see. Ooh. Go back here. It's really hard to do this sometimes, like move everything around and find things on my screen to show you. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Joaco. And yeah, this is a really awesome character, you know. I think this came out like 1986 was the Will Vinton Christmas special. And Meet the Raisins and Raisins Sold Out, I guess that was somewhere around maybe 1990 or 1987, and between then and 1990. So it's been so long since these things were actually out there on TV. So I don't know if this generation, you know, watching this today would even recognize these characters. But, you know, Raisins are awesome. If you guys ever grew up watching these, and you can watch them on YouTube if ever you're interested. You can find, you know, California Raisins, Meet the Raisins, and Raisins Sold Out, still out there. All right, so you can see here Google is not quite working. For some reason, if I move this my email over to from one screen to the next, everything gets scrunched. But Brian Lee wrote to me last week after our show, and he said, "Hi Mark, this may be a cool video for next week's stop motion show. I'm a student filmmaker from the UK. It's a student film from the UK called Moonbird. Man, I can't read tonight. By Roos, Mattaar. The artist page also has behind the scenes on the building of the really elaborate bird armature under the puppets and fabrication tab. And so we have shown Roos's work before, but we're going to show it tonight. And so thanks, Brian, for your suggestion. And here we are. See if I can move this to your chat. And this is the show reel, and this is 2014 to 2015 Roos Mattaar stop motion animation show reel. And so we've got Moonbird also, and this is going to take about 7 minutes. It's going to be the show reel first, and then after this, I guess we could just, you know, talk about whatever. You guys have any questions, we can talk after this. But for now, we're going to watch this first, see if I can expand it and turn the volume up. All right, here we go. That was the show reel. And now this is Moonbird, so let's watch. So, pretty awesome. And if you guys want to find this on the internet, you can go to stopmoroos.wix.com. So it's stopmoroos.wix.com. Or perhaps just Google Roos Mattaar, which is Roosmattaar. So I hope I'm saying her name right, but this is her Wix page. So it's a free site. Sometimes free sites are good, but when you try to search for them on Google, Google doesn't really appreciate free sites as much as, like an actual paid site where you have a simple URL, which is easy to get to, like animateclay.com or google.com, that kind of thing. So, but very awesome. And she's got like a prop building, animation, and cinematography section as well. So, but we have shown this already. We have gone through her site in the past, and it's really good. So make sure to check it out. Let's see here now. Jason says he sent a link to something he watched as a kid, and but I couldn't find it, so you're gonna have to maybe give me a clue as to where I can find that, where you posted it. It's a video on the Facebook page. When I send stuff to the Facebook page, it doesn't post, it gets shifted to the left hand side. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to change that. I don't really understand why that happens. Let me go back there and I'll look for it here. Let's see. I'm gonna look. I'm looking, and let's see. Okay, I think I found it. All right, there it is. Yeah, it looks like people have been posting stuff, and I haven't actually been seeing it. All right. Well, first I want to show this. I just got this from Jose. Jose just sent this in during the show, and it looks really amazing. It looks like he's working on a little stop-motion dinosaur film. Let's see if I can get this a little bit higher on the page here. It looks amazing. These are amazing puppets, and it looks like he's used the build-up technique. So here's one of his dinosaurs. I don't recall the name of this dinosaur, but it's got sort of like an alligator-shaped head and a. So you can see that it looks like he's got a hole on the side, perhaps for a rig to go into. And looks like either, I can't tell if it's ball and socket underneath, but it looks like he's built it up with some bony kind of structure, perhaps a piece of wire running through here, and some upholstery type foam. He's got some plans on the back wall here as well, and it does appear that it might be ball and socket. Looks amazing. Looks amazing so far. It's so rare to see anybody still using that technique and to pull it off as well as this. So that's great. And here's one, and it's got some feathers. Perhaps maybe a feathered velociraptor type dinosaur, or something like that. And looks like he's got some troubles here. If I can zoom in. And I don't know if I can. I guess I can't. That stinks. Looks like the legs sort of deteriorated towards the back of the knee joint there, if that's the knee. Looks like some of the latex kind of cracked in spots. That's always frustrating. One thing about painting latex, if the paint is not stuck on there well, or if the foam starts to like dry out, you'll get that kind of a cracking there like that. And another problem with latex that most people don't know is that the oils in your hand will sometimes even deteriorate the latex. So heat, oils, things like that are just, one of the major issues with latex. And if you ever saw perhaps maybe like Willis O'Brien or or Ray Harryhausen's puppets, over time, you'll notice that you'll see a similar kind of deterioration like that. But still, the even in spite of that, the puppet looks awesome. It's really great. I mean, I bet that's going to be a really awesome shot. But Jose didn't actually send any information about this in terms of what it's about or anything. So let me see if I can. Can I click on your name, Jose? And let's see. Yeah, I can't click on it. That stinks. But either way, thanks for sending the pictures. This looks great. This looks really thrilling. I hope that you'll, post this on YouTube or something so we can watch this one day. It's really neat. All right, so now I'm going to go back to the page, and I'm going to try to hopefully find Jason's post here real quick. Scrolling down. Well, I guess I could leave live stream up there, but I think I should probably try to update some of this stuff. I'm not even sure why it has an event section. When I set this page up, I think I just did it totally backwards. Because all the stuff I wanted to have, where people could just post on the page and have it show up at the top. So anyway, so Jason says here, this was my first experience with watching stop motion from the 70s. It was a whole series about a bear going on adventures, usually trying to find its way back home. Every episode would end with a cliffhanger. I think it was originally from Poland. It was played on TV Ontario, public television. Our teacher would record it, and we'd sometimes watch it in class at lunch. So that was from March 30th, Jason. I don't think that's it, is it? Because that was when we were talking about the bears, right? That was the other week. Visitor posts. Let me just click on this. Oh, man, look at this. There's actually a lot of stuff on here. Okay, so here's Jeremy's theme song. Is this what you were talking about, Jason? Maybe it was from then. I just didn't see it. Let's click it. All right. So Thomas says, I got a close look at the HPLH's latex Cthulhu puppet a couple of years ago, and even just since it was created in 2005, it was already pretty rotted out. Made it look extra creepy, though. Read the comments. Alright, guys, I don't know. But we are going to watch this first. This is only a minute and a half, so let's check it out here.
I'm a bear called Jeremy. I can do most anything. I can play and I can sing little tunes like Do Re Mi. When he heard me sing, the king of birds said to me, here's for you, dear thing, a whistle that goes tweet, 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 tweet. I'm a bear called Jeremy. I can do most anything. I can play and I can sing. Yes, my name is Jeremy. I'm the bear called Jeremy. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, it's me. I can do most anything. I can play and I can sing. I should also say that I've got a heart of gold, and in every way I'm adventurous and bold, adventurous and bold, bold. I can do most anything. I can play and I can sing. I'm the bear called Jeremy. Yes, sir, Jeremy.
Alright, Janet, I'll try to find yours as well. I'm going to see if I can find it. But that looks great, and let me look at this again real quick. So yeah, these are, the style of the puppets is pretty interesting. It does look European for sure, you know. Everything kind of had that look to it over there. So, one comment. Okay. So Anna says this made by the same studio who made Miss Uszatek, originally called The Many Adventures of Koralgor Bear, but I don't know why they changed the names. That's interesting. That's good to know. So I wonder if I could find that on Google. Wonder if I could find that studio. Let's see here. So, let's see, more images. It's probably like a Wikipedia. Here we go. So, Floppy Bear, literally Teddy Floppy Ear, it says, is a Polish character from the stop-motion animated TV series of the same name. He was created jointly by Polish writer Czesław Zarski? Oh man. And cartoonist of obviously a very complicated name, which I'll probably never pronounce correctly. But let's see. So it was in a Polish comic magazine. First appearance was in 1957. And it became very popular in 1975. So that's when I was born. That was like 40 years ago. And okay, so here it is. Studio Malik Form Filmowicz. Here we go. Semaphore created a series of cartoons for the Polish TV network featuring actor who voiced the characters. So I wonder if Semaphore is a spin-off of that studio, because Semaphore is, they did what? They did Peter and the Wolf, I think, in Poland there. We also sell some of their armature kits, so that's kind of interesting. So there's a connection there, which I never realized. Wow, so it's really a small world. So I'd read this, but there's so many Polish names that I just would spend so much time trying to pronounce each one. But it's really good to know. All right, very interesting. Yeah. So Janet, have you been to Semaphore before, or have you ever had a chance to visit that studio since you're in Poland? I mean, I know if I were living in Poland, I'd try to get there. I'd be like, hey, I love stop motion. Can I come inside? Knock, knock, knock. Hello. Very cool. So you have you ever tried to maybe send like some of your art there, or some pictures of sculptures or anything like that? I bet they'd probably be happy to see that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know how many resumes they get in a month, but I bet it's not that much. So by the way, Ron, the delay that you're talking about might be my brain. I might have my brain's kind of slow tonight, I gotta admit. It's been a long day for me. So that 1 minute delay is and then I kind of like when I read these comments, I'm not always looking at the chat. I'm always trying to find stuff that's off screen here on the left. So sometimes I look over and I see your posts. So Janet is saying that they now teach kids. That's cool. Wolverton Studios did that too in America. Wolverton Studios that made the California Raisins, and they're now called Leica. And they had a guy that went around that I met. His name was Mike McKinney, and he used to animate Raisins and other characters, and he worked on the Christmas special in 1986. And he went on like this little tour to different places around America with some of the puppets, and he was my first contact in the world of stop motion. And it was just an amazing experience to actually meet somebody for the first time that had been to a big studio. You know, it was a big thing for me. And that one meeting, opened up a lot of doors for me, just to meet somebody in person. And if I hadn't met Mike McKinney, I wouldn't have been introduced to a lot of other people at the studio. From where I learned a lot of stuff, and I'm really grateful for. So, a lot of times people out there, if you guys are just on the internet and you have a Facebook page, or you have a YouTube channel, even though you're out there on the internet, if you get the chance to meet somebody in person, it's always a good idea. Phone calls are the second best thing. Emails are kind of impersonal. Like, a lot of times people just get 100 emails a day, and they see your email, and it's not so impactful. You get a greater impact hearing somebody's voice. And Skype is also good as well, if you guys have the ability to Skype people. Okay, so Ron is saying that the delay is real because I see the chat live as people type, and then the one on your screen and what we type doesn't appear on your screen till about a minute later. Okay. Yeah, it's very possible. It's very possible. You know what I think it is, and actually I think I know how to get rid of that delay, but it would require me getting another video monitor. I think the reason for the delay is because my screen is not a 1080p screen. And what is happening is it is being crunched to fit on a YouTube screen. So it's being encoded. It's being uploaded to YouTube and then encoded into a different size and then broadcast. And from what I understand, if my screen is a 1080p screen, then there's not so much of a delay. So, but it's one of those things. I don't have the money for a screen. So, let me see here. Okay. I will look for the message, Janet. I'm gonna look for it. Matt says, it's great that direct. I find the pleasure of discovering the early years of the internet when my computer crashed all the time. Yeah, I see. I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's better to have a direct connection with people as opposed to something that's more impersonal, like email. Okay. So Anna, let me see Anna Kowalska. So Janet and Anna are one and the same people here, and I'm gonna load up. Let me see if I can bring this up here. Awesome. This is kind of cool. So semaphore, yeah. Let me. I'll bring this up on the other screen here, so everybody can see it. Hopefully it loads nicely. Alright, so here's Semaphore. This is the bear, actually. It looks like this is the same character. A newly updated version, which looks a lot nicer. Clothing here looks a bit more crisp. It's got a rabbit character that's got some awesome ears. I like the design of this rabbit here. I like that a lot. That's really nice. Okay. Let's do this. So here's Semaphore. Here's what they're up to. Now, unfortunately, looks like they got a museum attraction of some sort. Saturday at 2:30 a.m. I guess the reason why it's 2:30 a.m. is because I'm on the other side of the planet, and I guess it's calculating my time zone. So, yeah, I don't think that's accurate if you live in Poland. So they got like an address here, as well as it's like a museum.semaphore.com. Let me see if I can. Maybe they've got some pictures we could look at least, because I don't understand Polish. But those are the events, and here's the And they spell museum Muzeum, and so that's the URL is museum.se-ma-for.com. So again, I don't understand the language. My father is Polish, and my grandparents are Polish. They used to speak Polish all the time when they were together, but I never picked it up. Now I regret it. See, I should have learned, right? So Galleria, I know I can understand that. Let's click that. All right. So it looks like they got a whole bunch of activities, perhaps. I think this is what Anna or Janet was talking about. Anna Janet. See here. Teaching kids. So I guess perhaps this is probably like a storytelling. Let's see. Oh, okay. Looks like character design. Character design for kids or something here. Let's see. So Ron is saying, yes, it's way better to communicate with people in person, even if only on the phone. People aren't real in a way until you establish direct contact. Even private email isn't real enough. Yeah, I agree. That's something that, people are more connected but out of touch with each other. It's kind of weird because we have these neighbors, and we even have a new neighbor that moved in across the street. And, they don't wave at you. They don't say hello. They're just in a rush to go to work, and they'll glance at you and get in their car and drive away. It makes you feel almost like, do I look extra creepy today or something? Are you avoiding me? And we had one neighbor that was across the street before he moved out, and would not talk to anybody. He'd look at you. He'd put out his garbage when you were getting the mail or something like that, and just turn your back on you. So, but the weird thing is he's probably got like 500 Facebook friends. I mean, it's kind of like this weird thing, right? It's like this weird social thing. So there's a lot of pictures on here. This is pretty nice. Let's see what this puppet is here. That looks like Tale of the Fox. One of the puppets from Tale of the Fox from Starovich there. I wonder if it is. I bet it is. Or a recreation of it. Here's Peter from Peter and the Wolf that I was talking about before. One of the puppets. Which is a great film, by the way. And I believe you might be able to watch that for free these days on the internet. Kind of a cool little puppet. See here. So, and this is, wow, they're still using film, looks like. I don't really know what kind of camera that is. Huh. It might be one of those wall cameras. Oh, okay. You can, oh, English, right. Awesome. Thanks, Janet. I didn't notice that. So we can actually look at this in English. All right. Very cool. Opening of the modern Semaphore Museum of Animation based on Museum of Fairy Tales. That's great. So would you guys ever consider flying out to Poland just to see this? Oh, all kinds of designs there. So they were down shooting some animation stuff here. It looks like this is their down shooter system. All shot on glass. One of the first professional animation pieces I did was on glass like that. So Ron is saying, I've had potential clients. I've gotten emails from that I've nearly forgotten about because they were just a message on my screen, and unless they followed up with more, I find it hard to remember when I'm really busy. Yeah, that happens to me too, you know that? Happens to me as well. It's kind of hard for me because with customers, sometimes they have customer issues I gotta remember. And especially with schools too, like POs and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff. There's this a frog that wanted to become a dragon. So I wonder what this is here. Making some puppets. So they're really into teaching kids, you know, it's kind of cool. I mean, this is like the next generation of stop motion animators. Let me go back here real quick. Alright. So I'm going to close that, and we've got about 2 minutes left. So, I don't know how much more I can talk about here. Let me see. Somebody sent me something new. Alright. I don't know. People are sending me a lot of messages, so I don't want to miss anything. But here's some cool pictures. Let's translate it. Dolls made in studio. Semaphore. The plan in Slovenia. Look at these puppets. These look awesome. So they got like a replacement mouse system here. They've got some really nice clothes and awesome sets. So like they're all sculpted pieces of wood. That looks great. Wow, that's pretty amazing. And here's their lighting system. That looks pretty amazing too. I think that's all halogen. I don't think those are LEDs. And can't really see it, but they've got the replacement mouse down there. And they're using looks like a Canon DSLR camera. And Dragon frame. That's pretty good. And Ron says, I would never consider flying to Poland for anything, even though I have mostly Polish blood. For anything, really? What about a job? Would you ever go there? A lot of people are going overseas, you know, they're going to Canada, the UK. I think like Anthony Scott is a world traveler, you know, I think wherever the work is, he's going. I don't know how certain people do that. I think you gotta stay single, you know, travel lightly, don't buy a lot of stuff. If you want to be a real, true, hardcore freelancer, you gotta travel light. This is a really nice project, it looks like. So if you guys would like to look at more of this, check out Semaphore Museum Animagi. How do you say that? See, I need to have Janet as a co-host so she can pronounce all this stuff. One day, right? Maybe Janet should do that. But yeah, this is what you gotta look up on Facebook to find this page. And perhaps if you just look up Semaphore, which is SE-MA-FOR, you can probably find this. Let me do a quick search and see if you can find this page just by doing that, and then you'll know. Oh, so SE-MAFOR, Semaphore. Yeah, all right. So there's two. There's Semaphore, which looks like some sort of musical club music. And then Semaphore the Museum. So that's what you want to click on right there. Alright, so Ron says, next week I should send you links to the vines I worked on recently. They're all available for the public now. Cool. And he says, I'd go to Poland if the paycheck was good enough, but I don't like traveling. I'm a family guy. And Matt says, frankly and without irony, I discovered direct tone, and it's absolutely great. That's cool. All right. Well, it's actually great that you guys stopped by tonight and hung out for an hour. I'm going to end the show now, and I appreciate you guys stopping in. As always, if you guys have questions or comments, feel free to message me or email me, and we will talk about it next week. All right. See you guys all later.